All right then, so now let's go ahead and start designing the student management UI form. So what we have to do is I'm gonna delete this. I don't need it. I'm gonna delete this complete stuff. Delete it. Okay. So for the styles, let's use this margin 0, padding 0, box sizing border box, and for the body tag, let's open it. Width, of course, it's going to be 100 BW. Height, of course, it's going to be 100 BH. And display, it's going to be flex. Align items, it's going to be center. And justify the content, it's going to be in the starting position. And the flex direction, it's going to be the column direction. All right, fine. Now, it will be on the top of it. And for the body tag, I'm going to add some padding, top and bottom 20 pixels, left and right 25 pixels padding. Cool. Now, over here, I'm going to create a container. Let's, okay, let's bring a container, dot container. And inside this container, I'm going to bring, okay, I'm going to bring an input box. Oops, input box. And inside this input box, I'm going to have a label. And I don't need this for label. And let's say student name. And I'm going to have an input with an ID, Steve underscore name, something like this. Okay. All right, this looks like this. So let me make it even smaller like this, and let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it clearly. Cool. Okay, so this is how it looks. And this is for name. Just like the same way, we need to bring for roll number, and we need to bring for 5 different subject marks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Name, roll number, and 5 subject marks. And we need to bring the button groups, BTN groups, and we need to have the button with the type of button. And let's say save, and let's bring one more thing, that is the reset. Save these changes. This is how it looks. So instead of student name, this is supposed to be roll number, and this is supposed to be roll number. And this is supposed to be subject 1. Let's keep it as mark 1. Mark 2. Mark 3. And mark 4. Okay, something like this. All right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So this is how it is supposed to be. All right, that's looking good. And then now what I need to do is, yeah, if I save these changes, nothing is changed. Okay, we have name 2 more times, so I don't need this. Okay, name, roll number, input box, this is subject 1. Subject 2, 3, 4. Save this change, something like this. So let's go ahead and customize this the container first. So what I can do is I'm going to copy this dot container, and let's jump into the styles.css dot container, open it. So this is going to be width as 540 pixel on the big screens, and Padding, it's going to be 20 pixels, top and bottom, left and right 25 pixels. Border, radius 10 pixels. Border, it's going to be 1 pixel solid RGBA 0,0,0.4, something like that. All right, and then fine. Inside this, it's going to be display, flex, align item center, justify the content in the starting position, and the gap between each and everything, it's going to be 20 pixels. And the flex direction, of course, it's going to be the column direction, something like this. This looks like this. And inside this container only, we do have this input box. Yes, copy this input box, open it, and width of this, it's going to be the 100% of the width. It should always follow the container width. And inside here, we're gonna have that input box, and it's going to be display, flex, align items center, justify the content in the starting position, and of course align the items also in the starting position. And the flex direction, it's going to be the column, so it should be looks like this. All right, then gap, it's going to be 10 pixels. All right, that's more than enough. And now inside this input box, let's add some background color for this background. Hash F1 F1 F1, looks like that. Okay, that's looking good. And padding, top and bottom 4 pixels, left and right 6 pixels, something like this. And if you feel it a little bit too low, then 12, 8, something like this. I think this is more than enough. Then let's add the border radius as 10 pixels. Okay, and now this is more than enough. Now what I need to do is, in this input box, inside this input box, we have a label. So for this, I'm going to fix the font size as 16 pixel, something like that. And the color, I'm going to keep it as #333, something like this. And the font weight, it should be 600, a little bit bolder. And font, I'm going to use style, I'm going to use font family, I'm going to use the sans serif. Okay, it looks too dark, I'm going to keep it as 500. Okay, 600. And the size is going to be 14 pixels, something like that. Okay, looking good. Now inside this input box, we have an input. So of course this when you click here, you can see we're having some outline and all those things. So on the when you're clicking this input, so we don't need that outline, so outline is going to be none. And the border, it's also going to be none. And background, it's going to be the transparent. And width, of course, it's going to be 100%. And the background color, it's not supposed to be this RGBA, this, it's too dark, and let's keep it as 1.07. Okay, I think that's more than enough. And the height is going to be 40 pixels, something like this. And padding, we need to add some padding, top and bottom, let's say 0 pixels, left and right it should be 6 pixels, something like this. Now if I type something over here, it looks like that. All right, and here now font size, it's going to be 18 pixels, and font weight, it's going to be 500. And the text color, it's going to be #444, something like this. Okay, and on focus, what I'm going to do is, on focus, whenever the input field is focused, I'm going to add some border 1 pixel solid teal color for time being. Now if I click this, it looks like this. Okay, so we can change the color code and we can make it 2 pixels, and let's change this color to I think this is okay, or even we can make it a darker blue. I think this is fine, and let's add the border radius 10 pixel, or let's keep it as 5 pixel. That's more than enough. Okay, when it's focus, let's change the background color to hash triple F. This is how it looks, so you can understand which one is active and which one is not active and all those things. All right, that's looking good. So now let's go ahead and finish the styles for the button groups. So copy this button groups. Let's go to the styles dot container and dot button groups. So we need to write these styles for this. All right, so let's go ahead and do that next.